Welcome to Tech Bytes and News, your daily roundup of articles featured in Hacker News. Today, we're diving headfirst into the wild world of building your own data center, a journey Railway recently undertook. It's insane.
Insane is right. I heard they ditched Google Cloud Platform. What prompted such a drastic move?
Yeah, they were spending millions annually on GCP, but the support was underwhelming, to say the least. Egress fees were killing them, service limitations were a major headache, and engineering constraints were stifling innovation. Basically, GCP wasn't letting them deliver the best possible service to their customers.
So they went full DIY. That's bold. I mean, building a data center from scratch? That's not exactly a weekend project.
Tell me about it. They started their Railway Metal project in January 2024. 9 months later, they had their first California site up and running. Amazing. They're even expanding to 3 more regions.
9 months? That's surprisingly fast, considering the complexity. What was the first hurdle?
Finding a suitable space, of course. They had 3 options. Greenfield, building their own data center. Cage colocation, renting a secure space within an existing facility. And rack colocation, renting individual racks. They opted for a cage. 4 walls, a secure door, and a blank canvas. Pretty smart, right?
Smart but expensive, I imagine. Power and cooling are huge costs, right?
Absolutely. The cost varies wildly by location. They found the U.S. West Coast much cheaper than Singapore, and it's a fixed monthly cost, regardless of usage. You're paying for the availability of power. They needed to calculate power requirements based on their target vCPUs, RAM, and NVMe storage, a whole other level of complexity.
And then there's the redundancy. Data centers need to be incredibly reliable.
Exactly. 2 fully independent power feeds per rack are crucial. They also use power distribution units, PDUs, for control and metering of individual sockets, not just glorified extension cords. These PDUs are network accessible, allowing remote monitoring and control. Very cool.
So, power sorted. What about networking? That's a whole other beast, isn't it?
Oh yeah, big time. They needed low latency connections to the world. They chose a data center with Tier 1 ISPs and an Internet Exchange, 9, plus access to fiber connections to other nearby data centers. They even selected multiple ISPs per region for redundancy and optimized routing. They use BGP to route traffic efficiently. For example, traffic to Australia goes via Telstra, and traffic to Japan goes via PCCW.
That's impressive. But the physical setup, racks, cabling, the whole shebang, that sounds like a nightmare.
It was. They had to consider cold and hot aisles for airflow, rack dimensions, cable management. It's all about optimization. They even use reverse airflow switches to keep cabling neat. And the documentation. Ooh. Oh boy, the documentation. They created a cabling matrix and rack elevation diagrams. Essential for the installation team. Hundreds of cables. Painstakingly documented.
Hundreds? I can only imagine the sheer scale of that. Did they do it all themselves?
Initially, they tried, with mixed results. They quickly learned to bring in professionals for the actual installation. But even the pros needed those detailed plans. They even had some hilarious mishaps along the way. Wrong cable lengths, reversed power sockets, incorrect fiber polarity. The list goes on. It's a wild ride.
It sounds like a comedy of errors. But they got it done. What's next for Railway?
They're working on getting everything configured. BGP OS installation, monitoring setup. They're even building internal tools to automate the process. They're aiming for a button-click experience for future data center deployments. And if you're interested in joining their adventure, they have open infrastructure engineering roles.
Well, that's a wrap for this episode of Tech Bytes and News. Thanks for joining us on this exciting journey into the heart of data center construction.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Until next time, stay curious and keep innovating. Bye.
Bye-bye.